FLUX is a division of AIDS Healthcare Foundation focused on raising the profile of transgender and non-conforming community to creating spaces like this.
Alright, so I'm going to the FLUX event that is with AHF and give you a taste of what that's like.
The kind of guy who chill while others hurry. I didn't know that I've been the fool. I've been telling lies about something real, but I know love is based on honesty. Kept thinking how real love should feel, knowing that it's not just you, it's me, 'cause I was made to be free.
Welcome. My name's Raif, Derrazi, and we're AIDS Healthcare.
They're not going to be on the list.
Okay.
They're actually just coming to do AHF social media.
Yeah, okay. So just give him a wristband.
They would have to once they get from it. So just let them know.
Thank you.
That way you can walk in and out.
Sweet, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.
50 years. The first Pride March and Parade was a fucking riot. That is who we are, that is where we come from, that is what we do, that's how we're gonna do it. Our ancestors, Marsha P. Johnson, and for many of you, I don't know if people know, Marsha P. Johnson on that day, June 28th in 1969, was celebrating her 25th birthday and was being met with violence and craziness from the fucking police just for wanting to have a good time. But Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera were proud enough about who they were enough to fight. The infamous June 28th, 1969 Stonewall Riot would give birth the following year to the June 28th, 1970 Christopher Street Liberation Day Parade, which you all know now is essentially New York City's Pride March and Parade. Please, salute, salute. Because if it wasn't for their fighting, if it wasn't for their protests, if it wasn't for their bodies, if it wasn't for their voices, we would not be here.
I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do without the support of these wonderful transgender non-conforming individuals who make the family that is FLUX. FLUX is a division of AIDS Healthcare Foundation focused on raising the profile of transgender non-conforming community to creating spaces like this that are for us and by us. Today, not only are you going to get to witness the brilliance of the amazing speakers that are going to be sharing their space with you, but you will get to meet some of the other unsung heroes and she-ros and them-ros and ex-ros, as however we want to refer to ourselves as, that contribute not only 50 years ago with Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. Their legacy lives on in each and every one of us. Whenever you hear people wanting to have pity on the trans community, you need to stop them. We don't need to be saved.
Yeah.
We created our existence and live in our own truth. You just need to get the fuck out the way. Because we know what we're doing. So think of today as a place to be in familia, to be in family, to share, but also to take a little bit of knowledge back. We'll get to kiki, we'll get to laugh, we'll get to march on Sunday, but we'll also get to, share a drink, a little hors d'oeuvre, and get to connect at a human level. Let's celebrate each other. Let's work together. I didn't say perfectly, I said let's work together. We have too much shit going on to be at each other's throats or fighting each other. We're much better and we're much stronger together. So with that being said, we actually have the creator of the trans flag that just came from a really, really busy day. So put your very hands together for Monica Brown.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to FLUX. It's a beautiful organization from everything that I've read. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So if I say y'all every once in a while, that's force of habit. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. This is a special week, a special time, And we all are proud to show our pride to the world. And I want you all to be able to love one another and to make as many friends as possible, because that is the strongest bond that you can have in this world is friendship. Friendship is what kept me going. Friendship is what allowed me to do all the things that I did over the years. And friendship was what got me to thinking about the flag and what to make it look like. And when I originally made the flag, I didn't make it for the world, because I didn't think the world would accept it. I just made it for me because it looked good for me. So I was just amazed when more and more people started using it, and I'm started seeing it all over the world. And I said, oh gosh, I have the original one. Maybe I need to find a place safe to put it. So I contacted the Smithsonian, and sure enough, they wanted me to give them the flag. And today at the Stonewall event, I gave a 8-foot by 5-foot flag to the Stonewall Inn, and I signed it for them. And I hope that you get a chance to see it. I want to mingle with you guys, and talk with you, and any questions you might have, I'll be here to answer them for you, okay?
Just acknowledging the fact that Monica F. Helms is in this room, she is living history. We don't often have access to that. She's not just somebody who created the trans pride flag, she served in our military. The same military that's trying to ban us from being there. And that woman is still here today. So please show your respect. Take a picture, have a conversation, just say hello, and more importantly, say thank you. She gave you access to something that you can now use for yourself to have pride in. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, I find that sexy as fuck. So, going on, I also want to make sure that we underline and underscore the history of our warriorship, of what we contribute and continue to contribute, especially trans women of color. So many trans women of color continue to be murdered and be victims of violence. So we at FLUX, as we often do, we don't sit in the background, we don't sit in the bench. We see the future and we create shit to make shit happen.
Every chance you get, if you're someone who's an ally, the best way that you can, thrive in your allyship and be as forthcoming and be as supportive as you possibly can. Those small acts, when you hear somebody who is being transphobic or being disrespectful or misgendering someone, check them on it. Please, not be there. Just check them on it, child. Oh, nobody going to jail, girl. All right, so speaking of black trans women, and one in particular who is definitely doing the work and paving the way, I wanted to introduce someone who's a special guest of ours tonight. Her name is Raquel Willis. Yeah. She is a black queer transgender activist, writer, and speaker dedicated to inspiring and elevating marginalized individuals, particularly trans women of color. She is currently the executive editor of Out Magazine and is the director of Black Trans Circles through Transgender Law Center, TLC. So please, help me give a warm welcome to this beautiful black woman right here.
Oh my God, okay. I didn't know so much of my fam was gonna be here today. I'm so excited to be in this company, and I've seen a lot of Georgia folks out there, so shout out to all my Georgia folks. I always gotta, shout out where I'm from, my humble beginnings in the South. I bring that with me wherever I go. So I am so honored to be here, and I want us to start off, I really just want to take a moment of silence for all of the sisters and siblings that we've lost in years before this, but especially in this year, right? We know there's been so much violence, so let's just take a moment of silence for them. Okay, thank you. Take a deep breath if you need to. All right. So we are here in fellowship, right? We are reflecting on these last 50 years of power, of resistance, of resilience. And I start off by naming really the fact that we've been fighting for so long for our lives, right? And I really have to always give that space to the people we've lost, because whether big or small, whether you knew their names or not, they played a part in us being here today, right? Just by living their truths, just by being their beautiful, fabulous, brilliant, mighty, transformative, resilient selves. So give it up for them. And we know, right, that pride has become much bigger maybe than our ancestors and transcestors imagined. But we can't let anyone erase the struggle and the fury and the frustration that got us here, because that is powerful and brilliant too. And so I think about just how powerful it is to be here in New York City. People call it the birthplace of pride. They said that a lot this month, but it really is the birthplace of queer militant resistance, right? So everything that we know to be queer and radical started here. I think about our beautiful foremothers of the movement, right? Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson, people like Miss Major, people like Stormae DeLavery and other folks who were there on this fateful night 50 years ago, literally today. And how they didn't know what was going on, but they knew what they weren't going to take, right? They knew they weren't going to take people telling them that they shouldn't be exactly who they are. And so I want to really share an excerpt that Miss Major shared with me recently, and it really put all of this in perspective for me in a different way. She said, "Stonewall wasn't done out of a sense of pride. It was done after a buildup of shit from constant police raids in Greenwich Village. It came to the head like a pimple, and it just got popped." The memory of that first night doesn't come to me with a sense of joy or happiness, because so many girls and a few guys got really hurt. After the city police barged into the bar with numbers and attitude, the prevalent feeling that night was fear. Looking at the riot squad was like watching Star Wars stormtroopers, but they were in black with riot gear, sticks, guns, mace, helmets, and shields. The brutalization as they moved across and down the street was like a tidal wave hitting a coastline city. It hit and rolled over you. And if you fought, you'd wind up down. And if you were down, they would keep beating on you. And so I think about that, right? If we are down, we allow people to keep us down, they will keep beating on us. So we have to get up in every way that we can, every day that we can, as consistently as we can. And I think about how our foremothers didn't allow that fury to just go unchecked, right? They organized with that fury. They built institutions to keep their sisters safe, to keep their families safe. And we can't lose that fire. We can't lose all of that inspiration that they unleashed in the world. They were setting a blueprint for all of us in this room right now and outside of this room. That's dope as hell, ain't it? And so I think about the other ways, right? Like, we have to really be studied up on what they were really fighting for, okay? They were fighting for a world without prisons. They were fighting for a world where ICE doesn't come and take you away from your family and the life that you know, right? They were fighting for the rights of everyone who is incarcerated, everyone who is detained, everyone who is a sex worker, everyone who is black and brown, everyone who is homeless, everyone who is living in poverty, everyone who is told that they shouldn't exist. That's what they were fighting for. And so if we invoke their names, if we invoke their legacy, you better be living in that legacy, right? Now, I want to bring us back, right? Because it isn't just about the tragedy. It isn't just about the hardships and the struggle. So I had another conversation with Miss Major earlier this year, and she was talking about how she met Crystal LaBeija. And she met her in a car, and you know there was this John that they were talking to, and it was the whole thing. But they became friends after that. You know, our ancestors, honey, they had lives too. And I think about Crystal LaBeija and the four mothers of ballroom culture, right? We got some brilliant, beautiful ballroom folks in here. I know the House of Balenciaga up in here. What other houses we got up in here? House of Wintour. Okay. I see what we're doing over here. But I think about that, right? And how she organized with other folks to create places of joy, right? Places of validation. So we weren't just organizing around our fury. We were making those places where we could be happy and find pleasure in our lives too. And that's exactly what FLUX is doing tonight. And I'm so thankful to y'all, Marquise, Queen Victoria, for having me here, for having all of us here. We are mighty, we are brilliant, we are beautiful, and we are powerful. And before I leave the stage, I want you to repeat after me, right? Because we really got to get this. We are mighty. We are mighty. We are brilliant. We are brilliant. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are powerful. We are powerful. We are mighty. We are mighty. We are brilliant. We are brilliant. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are powerful. We are powerful. One more time. One more time. Wait. We are mighty. We are mighty. We are brilliant. We are brilliant. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are powerful. We are powerful. Thank you.
While we're talking about people of trans experience, we also have to include trans masculine folks in the conversation. Trans men do exist too. Obviously, I'm one of them. Lou Graydon Sullivan. If you don't know who he is, he was a trans man who was actually in the US one of the first publicly open gay male identified trans men, died in 1993 HIV positive. And in fact, when he was first diagnosed, it was in 1986. Please know that the first reported case of HIV in our country was in 1981, so that was only 5 years after. Trans men have been silently going through their trauma. You may not know what we go through, you may not be able to see it may not be as visible, but we have experiences too.
We wanted to also celebrate our parents. So our new campaign that we're going to be starting in FLUX is about celebrating our parents that support us. I recently found out my father's diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I quit my job actually last week to start a career in what I wanted to do, to live my truth and my passion, and to also to take care of my father. And when asked by my employer, why are you making these drastic changes in your 22-year career of doing this work in community? I said, I have to be there for my father because he's always been there for me. He was at the National Trans Health Summit with me in October, sitting right next to me talking about the importance of parents supporting us. I also wanted to acknowledge the fact that Raquel's mom is here. Her beautiful mother is here with us today as well. Our blood relatives that are standing with us in our strength are important for us to celebrate them. So I wanted to bring up Marquise to talk a little bit about someone.
My mom is here. She is sitting over there, this lovely young lady. And today is my mother's birthday. Wait. Y'all are excited. I'll wrap this up. There's quite a parallel in this experience for me. As a person who is trans, who is a part of this community, and acknowledging the 50-year anniversary of the Stonewall Inn riot, and what my trans sisters have been able to do, what happened that day on June 28th, and how important that day was, especially with Marsha P. Johnson celebrating her birthday that day, and my mother shares that same birthday. There's a certain power in that, and I have no choice but to allow you every single year of my life to be a part of what my experience is. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful to have a mother that loves me, that supports me, that sees me, that does not challenge me, that says to me, look baby, if that's who you are, that's what we are. I'm here with you. She could have been anywhere tonight, but she is here with me on her birthday. So mama, I say thank you, and I love you. Happy birthday.
Which is this is the list that is on the floor and all these teachers. Moving forward in power, a subtle power, simple power, a tough love, tough love. This is a stickle pay. This is a stickle pay.
Your #1 Beyonce impersonator in all of the land. You guys are so fucking amazing. I love you. Thank you. Seriously, like it actually goes with my message tonight, and it's just a message of love. And like everything that we're going through in this political climate is just like it's trying to just basically break us down. And it's so hard, just honestly for me as a person, I can only speak for myself, but sometimes to get up and just live through the day-to-day with all the black trans women being killed, trans people just going through everything that like we're being faced with. It just speaks to our resilience, right? And it just says something like, right now we have to be able to take care of one another because we are all we got. The message is love. The message is peace. It's just to promote healing within yourselves, and so you will be able to heal each other. That's all that I have. I love you guys so much. Just if you see each other on the street, the trans woman, gay, whatever, take care of each other. Ask how you doing. Like, it goes so far. It's so simple to give love, and that's what we're here for. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out tonight. I appreciate your support. FLUX, thank you so much for having me. And you guys have a happy Pride. I love you.
back in the hotel room. It is just after 1 a.m. p.m. My God, no, it's 1:15 in the morning, and just got done with the FLUX event. It was so cool. It was really like eye-opening experience to meet those people and to realize, hello, that they were such an integral part of the Stonewall riots, and trans community is so integral to the whole discussion over LGBT history and the influence that they have, and that we need to have more discussion around that they have been here the whole time, and that we just need to rewrite them into history where they belong and honor that. And so that should be such a crucial part of celebrations here at World Pride New York. I just keep learning new things every day. It's really humbling, and it's really exciting, and just so awesome to be here and to experience all of that and to learn all of that in this incredible city. With that said, I am going to bed because I need sleep, and I will see you guys mañana. Peace.
I am